Test 1, 2. Hey, go figure. Hey, everybody. Kirk Vauclain, Proforum.com. I got Yvette Goya. Did I say that right, Yvette?
It's Joya.
Joya, Goya, whatever. Yvette and Suzanne Trimmer, and I'm sorry, I don't know who the other person is.
Danielle Stahl.
Danielle. We'll just call you Danielle. How's that? Awesome. Well, anyway, what I wanted to shoot the breeze about was some sort of model program. I have been doing some experiments with doing different model programs and stuff like that on the in connection with senior portraits as a way of bringing people in and getting people excited about doing their photography and things of this sort. And so just thinking out loud that maybe, I know Suzanne has done some model programs in the past, and Yvette sent me a private message and said, hey, there's got to be something we could do with the Pro Forum, and, just kind of shooting the breeze about that kind of thing. There must be a way that we could put our three heads together for a few minutes and say, all right, this is how we can make a model program work on the Pro Forum. So that's basically what this call is all about, just to say, all right, how do we make this work? My biggest thing is this. Here's what I bring to the table. I've got, the Pro Forum, tons of photographers who love to learn. I've also got in my backyard New Orleans, which, even Hollywood recognizes that New Orleans is one of the top places to do Hollywood-type movies. It's being called Hollywood South these days, And it's also, I have photographed in New Orleans, and in my humble opinion, it ranks in my top 3 areas on the planet to work as a photographer and to photograph people. So, I've got and I got the connections and all this other good stuff. I got all that. What I have difficulty figuring out is how do you charge for this? How do you pay for it, I guess is what I'm getting at. Sure, every studio could say, hey, we're going to take pictures in New Orleans and we're going to fly you out here. But that just don't seem as cool as, oh, you've been selected. Any ideas? So there you go. That's the main thing I wanted to shoot the breeze about is how do you take this and if I wanted to turn a profit on this, then of course, I would charge you to come. I would charge the models, or there would be a fee associated. And I'm not looking to make money off of this gig, but I would love to do it and make it a benefit of being a Pro Forum member. There you go.
You want to make this like think tank where it's available to anyone that wants to do it?
Yes.
For no cost, except for their room and board and plane fare.
Right. And if I guess theoretically, if a person were to, there's another idea. Let's say you got Yvette who says, man, I want to attend, but I'm not bringing a model. And then there's Suzanne who says, wow, I want to attend and I'm bringing a model. It could be, theoretically, to help pay for the model, you charge Yvette to attend, but you don't charge Suzanne because she's bringing a model. So that could be one way that you help pay for this. Because there's fees. There's going to be hotel charges, there's it's going to cost something, to pull this thing off. Now, either everybody covers their own individual stuff, or I don't know. That's what I'm wanting to shoot the breeze about.
How I've done it in the past was we throw that out to all of our senior kids that we photograph. We charge them an entry fee to be entered into this contest. It's like $100 a child or senior. Then I take one kid wins. So basically, all the ones that paid up front, they're covering the cost of that person to go.
Okay. And then so $100 you get, I don't know, let's say you get 10, you collect $1,000, you take that $1,000 and you pay the model to fly and to room and all this other good stuff? Okay.
And we use that as a promotional thing for our studio. We get it in the newspaper, all this and that and the other
Okay.
So that expense for us is worth it. And that's having 10 models. I mean, we could have 20 models, you know, be covering our airfare and, you know, hotel as well. So we're breaking even,
Yeah.
you know, kind of thing, but still getting that experience out there. And the kids want to go. We're from Ohio. These kids want to go anywhere, you know, and be photographing someplace cool.
Right. Right. Okay. So what about like a studio, a low, I don't know, I'm trying to come up with a scenario whereby a lower volume studio, let's say somebody who does 20 seniors or whatever, or let's say someone says, okay, fine, it's $100. They get one person who says, oh, yep, I want to do it, and nobody else does it. You see what I'm getting at? And so now, if they pick a winner, they've got $100 into this thing, and they've got to fly this model down there. They got to pay for their room and board, and it's like, or could it be one of these scenarios where you say, oh, well, sorry, nobody won? Or, you know,
How do you do your marketing in the first place? Your mailers, all that kind of thing. You have to put out the money in the first place. Get your name out there that you do this. So then maybe the next year they would have a winner or more kids participating. You have to start somewhere.
okay.
First time we had 4 entries. We got all the way up to 26 entries.
So the year you had 4 entries, I'm assuming like this other program you submitted, nobody won. Is that what happened, or you actually paid for them to go?
We had a winner.
You did have a winner.
Yeah.
Okay, and you paid for them. You
Right.
covered the cost.
Yes. Then the following year, right? Then the following year we probably had 12 entries. Then the following year, 26.
Okay. And what when you go ahead,
And our
Yvette.
speech program has multiplied by, I don't know, double, triple, because our area kids are seeing that, oh, one of ours got to go to, you know, California, Florida, you know, wherever. They got to go to these great places. So now we're getting more seniors because they have that chance.
Gotcha.
That was my question. I was going to say, too, one of the things that Proforum can do is find a way to corral all of the different marketing concepts that we have for senior models and put together some sort of model program that has some of the materials already set aside so that these photography studios have a plan that they can send out. That kind of, in other words, it's an all cohesive model program. There's marketing pieces that they can download off the Proforum, that they can drop their photos in, put their logo in. So it's kind of a full package for them to use.
Now,
They might be more successful.
I would maybe charge a little more. That's an add-on bonus.
You talking about for Proforum?
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong. The reason you say that is because then it ain't just somebody wouldn't just take from the program without actually being able to put into the program.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
All right, I'm gonna have to think on that. Okay. So what? Say that again.
Different levels.
Yes.
In the past, what if we participated in, you can either just enter a model, or you can buy all the products. If you need help, if you're just starting out, or if you want to grow your business and you don't know all the ins and outs, then you can purchase for a minimal fee, maybe. I don't know how you want to do that, Kirk, with the forum, but that's what the other programs have done.
Yes. So
We have to figure out what. I don't think we need to worry about that small studio that has 20 seniors, maybe, that maybe gets one model winner. If that studio is hungry and wanting to build their program, they're going to be a part of the Proforum. They're going to send that model and eat that cost that first year, because in hopes next year they're going to have 50 seniors at their studio.
Right.
And, 20 that, want to be a part of that program. So I think, to worry about that small studio here and there, it's, not helping the ones who can really take this and, go with it.
Right.
They'll come along with it.
Okay, so with that in mind, when you say eat it, when they, look, you're just gonna have to eat the cost. If you only have one model enter, and they, obviously get to come, what was the cost? What was it that you did for this model? What is it you had to pay? I guess.
Air and room and board for the model. For the model.
All right, so
the parent of that model had to pay for their own airfare, and obviously, boarded with their, son or daughter.
Okay.
So, basically, you're just paying for that model, and they can, cover the rest.
So the model wasn't matched up with another model in the room. It was just the model and a parent.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was one model, one room.
Right.
One model, one airfare.
Right.
You paid for food too, or just air? No. So
we took them out to dinner one night, just, to be cool and, thanks for coming kind of thing. But, yeah, they're pretty much on their own for food and entertainment, that kind of thing.
right. And they were required to do what? What, just be available?
Kind of like scheduled times for shooting, different types of shoots in different areas depending on where we were going and, that kind of thing. Whether it was a model-esque type shoot or more, are we getting, more landscape and architecture and, different kinds of things like that.
Gotcha.
I think this year we're going to Las Vegas. We've already have a model winner with one of the things that we're doing. They are on this schedule for 2 days. So really, I'm going to Vegas for a week, but I'm only paying for a model to go there for 2 days.
Yeah.
So that's
round trip air to hotel and 2 night stay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that. Okay, so that narrows that down. That way you can kind of get an exact cost. And so that's why I really wanted to talk to you guys, was because you've done it, you've experienced it, it worked. Okay, this is something that absolutely worked, and it makes people come in. Correct? Okay.
People love our stuff. They want pictures taken there, and we're like, oh, that's in California, but hey, we're having a model program, and it just opens the door to so many things.
Gotcha.
And that's proceed. And the other reason we do it is we do not want to be the one picking our winner.
Gotcha.
We want it to be a favorite, so we can bill it as a national contest, which it really is, and they are selected by a board, which is the Proform would have to set that board up.
Right.
We, of course, recommend highly who we would want to win. If they have a parent that's going to be troublesome or harder to work with, then we would say that in the recommendation letter. We have all that kind of all the forms and stuff for that we could use.
Yeah. So, all right. So let me. Again, I hate to. I don't want to keep going back to the poor studio who only does one, but the poor studio only does one. He gets one person to enter. That person would submit and say, "Look, I only got one, but this is happening, and this is my one entry, and so she wants to go, and we're going. We're gonna." So.
That you could do if it's a studio that has one model, and they really can't afford. They don't have the money, the resources to send that kid out there. Maybe not have a winner that year, but make them a semifinalist or something like that. But also, they can use all that material, the promotional material that they're shooting when they go there. So they're going to be photographing my model, but with and not paying for that one model from their studio. And we allow them, by our model winning, we are saying, yes, you can use this as your promotional material. You're shooting, you're photographing, so
yes.
They can benefit from it. They can take that opportunity to submit their one model, say she's a semifinalist in a national contest. That's still huge, for this studio of 20 seniors kind of thing starting out. He can, he or she can, go to the model shoot that we're doing, follow these other photographers, see what's going on, talk to other photographers, network, get those ideas fresh, and then next year be ready to roll it out, have those promotional materials, all that marketing material, and possibly have, 10 entries that year, and then say, yeah, I think we're ready to do this. We need a winner, we've been through it, and see if it's going to work a fit for them.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like what I was thinking, that in the recommendations, they could put something about how their situation as a studio and how many seniors they got, and maybe even, with the idea that they probably wouldn't have a winner unless they were profitable, unless they wanted one in that situation. Because I was thinking that the smaller studios, one of the reasons you've got Proform has such a wide array of different types of studios, and the smaller studios are wanting to grow. And what better reason to be a part of Proform, because Proform is going to be their college. It's going to be the thing that helps them grow, but they may not financially have the money in the beginning to bring that model over. So I do think it's important to kind of find a way to fit them in there. I don't know what your percentages are in Proform as far as studios that are smaller versus studios that are bigger. Do you know those?
No, there's really no way to know that unless you was to physically ask people, and there's, all of this, with the Proform, I'm always looking for ways of getting people involved. I want people to post. I want people to, because when you post, when you get involved like that, it forces you to be obligated, and when you're obligated, then it forces you, what happens to you as a human is you start going, well, man, the next session, I got to do something. I already posted the one by the truck. I already posted the one by the tree. I got to do something else. They're gonna laugh me out the street unless I do something cool and different. And so you start forcing it. It becomes a self-motivation tool that we all need. And that's what I'm always trying to get people to understand, is that I'm not just trying to jack up numbers, making people post. I'm always looking for ways to get people to post, because it makes you self-motivating, if that makes any sense. Okay, but I want to go back to the model thing. One more time, I just want to understand this. You personally, not Proform would not collect this $100 per person, correct? Your studio. Yeah. And so you only get one, but you're like, man, I want to do this. Proform is not responsible to fly that model in, to pay for their room. You're still responsible for that. But what you want from Proform as the photographer is you want me to put together a team of experts who decide this one wins. Okay, but you only have one, right? You only had one entry. Would you say then that Proform needs to have, well, look, you got to have at least X number of entries to be eligible for me to pick a winner?
No, because you may want to cover the cost for that model because you have the money to cover it. And that, if you have a winner, that's going to help you out next year to get more models. So if I'm limited just because I only have 4 models total, then I can't make the decision that I want to go ahead and just pay for that one person that I had to go.
And I won't be able to cover that. I'm going to work my butt off to get my 20 seniors that I have this year. I'm going to start, talking to them, calling to them, saying, hey, this opportunity's come up. We've got this model thing. I'm almost guaranteed a winner, basically. I just need to get, see who's interested. He needs to be that bargainer and talk them into that. That's not Proform's responsibility. That's no one else. I think, that person, whether they're business savvy or not, they can talk their people, their seniors, into this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And for these seniors, it really is. So,
yes.
I think you take that and run with it.
So, but again, I'm talking about from Proform's perspective. If someone was to enter just one model, you want me to pick a winner. Well, you've already picked the winner. You've only submitted one model.
They don't have to win. Or even if I submitted one, if I didn't want a winner and take on the financial responsibility, I could say, I don't.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. I'm going to submit, but I do not want to win.
Right. There's actually other bigger photographers in and they want to limit it. They don't want, let's say, say you have 100 studios submit, across the country. Are you going to have 100 models running around, during this event kind of thing? You kind of want that limited number so you have more access, more, shooters per model instead of you've got 100 models and 100 shooters running around now.
Okay.
What ratio are you guys used to in the past when you've done this, as far as models to photographers?
Last year we had 20-ish models. You think? So how many did we shoot last year? Oh, are you saying did we shoot for our studio or for this model competition?
For the event, how many photographers did you have versus how many models?
Well, a couple years ago, I think there were as many as 400 photographers or studios that attended. And I think there were 25 models, maybe. So what would that be?
Yeah.
Who's good with math?
Yeah.
I like that. That to me sounds more exclusive than like you had brought out 100 models to 100
Right.
photographers. That's
It could
that's
become
not really an
ridiculous.
exclusive group.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just say real quick that I personally, this has been most helpful. Let me hit stop on the record thing for 2 seconds because this is exactly what I wanted to know. I really didn't want to go more than about 20 minutes and stuff, so I'm gonna hit stop right now. By the way, thanks everybody on the Pro Forum for watching this. Thanks, and thanks Yvette. You're on this side for me, and Suzanne and Danielle, I got it last time. All right. Hey, thank y'all very much for doing this. Let me hit stop real quick.